Hey there, Julie B with Be Smart Social Media, back with another video to help you be a more successful e-commerce marketer. Now, every e-commerce that has success has a marketing strategy, but every once in a while, something kind of feels off in your marketing strategy, something's not working, and that means you have to kind of dive into the strategy and figure out what the problem is. And sometimes something worked 6 months ago but isn't working now, or maybe it worked a year ago and isn't working now, but you still have to figure out why it's not working. Now, your first impulse might be to jump into your analytics. But here's the thing, if you already know it's not working, diving down into analytics isn't going to help you anymore. The first thing you have to do is really get to know your customers again. Now, I go into more detail about some of the questions you should ask them in the blog post that accompanies this video. But when I say really get to know them, I don't mean just what their purchasing habits are. I mean, where do they hang out? What kind of content do they consume online? Where do they consume that content online? Those are the types of things that you have to learn about your customers. There's all kinds of ways to do that. You can do surveys, you can have events, there's all kinds of things you can do, and I talk a little bit more about some of those ideas on the blog, but bottom line is you have to come up with a list of questions to ask your customers, and then you have to figure out how to get them to answer those questions. And the reason this is so critical, this is for a business that has had some success and is just kind of at a crossroads and trying to figure out why something isn't working. Now, once you get those answers back from your customers, I would almost guarantee that you are making some assumptions about your customers that aren't accurate. That could be everything from their age, their gender, where they live, down to the hobbies that they pursue, even down to maybe they're not even on social media. Maybe they spend all their time on Reddit, on YouTube, or maybe they consume all their content through print magazines. You don't know unless you ask, but I guarantee you are making some assumptions about your customers that aren't accurate. And that is usually why your marketing is off. Okay, so once you have those answers, then what you do, and once you know what those assumptions are, then you start looking at your marketing. The first thing you're going to look at is the marketing that's working. Because sometimes marketing works, even if the marketing that you're doing doesn't exactly line up with what your customers told you. So then in that case, what you're going to do is you're just going to take what you learned from those surveys and improve that marketing. Don't change it too much, but just try to improve upon it, because even if you don't know why it's working, even if it's in conflict or contradictory to what your customers told you, it's working. So don't change that too much, but just try to make it better. The next thing you're going to look at is the marketing that doesn't work, and that will fall into two categories. First, you'll see marketing that doesn't work but should be working based on what your customer said. So let's say your customers say they're on Facebook all day long or Instagram all day long, and you're marketing and advertising pretty heavily there, but you're not getting the traction. If that's the case, then what I would recommend you do is change up the content, the message, the image, the types of content you're putting out. Maybe do more videos instead of images, or vice versa. Maybe do stories or reels. That's the kind of thing you're going to tweak there, because if you know your customers hang out in those places, but your message isn't resonating, it doesn't mean you should scrap that altogether. It just means you should update something with the messaging that you're putting out there. And then finally, you've got the type of marketing that hasn't been working, and based on the answers you got back from your customers, it makes sense why it's not working. Well, that marketing you just get rid of, because it's not going to work. You know, the answers that you got from the customers kind of confirm that answer that you know, okay, this marketing just isn't working because my customer's not there, or I can't make the type of content there that resonates with them. You just cut that out of your marketing mix. So once you go through that exercise, then you can look at analytics again, and you can start to put together your plan for your next steps and updating your inbound marketing strategy for your e-commerce company. But that initial piece of interviewing your customers is so crucial, and it doesn't have to be all of them. You can pick, let's just say 10%, maybe your top 10% customers. Interview them and take that information and let that information help you develop a better marketing plan going forward. If you have any questions about any of this, or if you're kind of feeling like you're in this situation, reach out to us. We're always helping e-commerce companies, makers, artisans, online store owners, Shopify store owners. We help them with this kind of stuff every single day. So if you're not sure why your marketing's off, we can kind of help you down this path, and we can actually also help you craft the questions to send to your customers if you need help with that. So just reach out and we'll be happy to help you. And thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back with some more content to help you grow your online store. Thanks.